Well, hi there everyone, FarmSimgamer here and welcome back to Bucks County. Now as you can see, I've just been down to the shop and picked up a Holmer Terra Dos T4-40. Our carrots are ready to top and harvest, so I'm taking this back up to the farm to get this ready so we can start harvesting that field. And this is a slightly modified version of the Terra Dos. It's got a 500,000 litre capacity. And the HR12 header has also been adjusted, so we've got a 14 mile per hour working speed as well. So that should enable us to be able to get on with that field pretty quickly. Now I'm hoping to get a good yield from it. The nitrogen levels and the pH levels are pretty good, so I'm hoping that we will be able to turn a decent profit, even though this costs about $30,000 to be able to lease, and probably a little bit more because we might run into a second hour of use as well. But hopefully that'll all work out okay and we'll get a good yield from that harvest. Now just a little recap on where we finished up yesterday. Our clover in the bunker had fully fermented, so that was kind of ready to feed to the cows. So I went and collected that, partly with a loading wagon and then just a few last bits and pieces I put in with a bucket. Now I went and fed that directly to the cows, and that was the sort of last of the 4 food groups that we needed. So the cows are now happy, they've got everything that they need for the time being. Didn't have a huge amount of clover silage, about 12,000 litres, but it was enough just to keep us going at the moment. Then after that I went up to field 15 and took a second cut of the clover. Now Bright Farmer, thanks to him for one of his comments. He always comments on the videos, and he kind of suggested that I put all of the mower on the front so I could put the loading wagon on the back. Now I did try this the other day with course play, but I think putting all the mowers on the front seems to confuse it a little bit. I think because they're supposed to go kind of one front and the larger one at the back, it didn't seem to like it and only wanted to drive backwards. If anybody knows a solution to that, then please let me know. So we went and cut that, put that into the bunker silo as well. So with fresh grass in here and with fresh clover, we compacted these down and covered them up, so we've got some more kind of silage underway for the future. So that kind of brought us up to speed yesterday. Now the other thing that I did as well is I did have a quick look at the contracts just to see what was coming up, and at the moment most of the fields are either in kind of growth stage or cultivation, and so we took a few contracts on for fertilising. So field 24 and 23, which are pretty much next door to each other, and then also field 44 and 46. And then we also took a sowing contract on for field 6. That was sunflowers that was needed. So they're going to keep us busy today as well. And as you can see from the map, we've got most of the fields are kind of either like in their growth stage or sort of cultivation, but they do turn pretty quickly on this map, so it wouldn't surprise me if some of those will come up for harvesting soon. So Tyler put the Velostad planter on, filled her up with seed, and he made his way up to field 6 a little bit earlier on so he could get on with that. And Megan's off doing the fertilising. I think she's probably going to start in field 23 first, either 23 or 24, and then move over the road to do fields 44 and 46. And I'm just getting back into the yard. I've got to go and fill this up with some diesel, and then we'll head out to field 16 and start getting on with that carrot harvest. So we've just started our headland work. I'm using course play again. I certainly do like it. It makes it very easy being able to get on with these fields when they can do the headlands and everything. And as you can see, we're sort of cracking on at a fair old rate, so 14 miles an hour, so pretty quickly. And the tank on here, as I said beforehand, is 500,000 litres. So that can hold 11 times the size of our trailer. So I suspect it will get a fair way into the field before we have to look at emptying it. So that shouldn't, hopefully it won't take us kind of too long to get this field done, but we'll have to wait and see. Now once we've harvested this, I'll have to take a little look at the pH levels and the nitrogen levels as well. Now last time round we didn't quite get the pH levels up to kind of where we needed to, so I suspect we'll have to put some lime down. And then we'll use our manure and our manure bunker that we installed down at the pond last time to put some manure down. And I think this crop will definitely take quite a lot of that nitrogen out of the soil, so we'll definitely need to do that. And then I think we'll be able to see where we are when we come around to drilling. So we'll probably do lime, then look at manure spreading, and then I think this field may need ploughing once we've done it, so we'll have to plough that in, and then we'll obviously drill the field after that. And I think we'll put a cereal in here, so probably barley or oats. Not 100% sure at the moment, but I think it'll probably be one of those two. Then over the track there in field 17, we've obviously got soybeans in there at the moment, and we kind of messed up a little bit with the nitrogen levels in there. We sort of over fertilised, so I think we'll need to make some adjustments there, or we probably won't need to put too much nitrogen back into the soil, because beans typically in the root nodules, they actually have they kind of hold nitrogen and then release that into the soil. So I suspect that that's maybe what's happened with that particular crop. Now I've just checked in on the rest of the guys. They seem to be getting on pretty well. I think Tyler's kind of well underway with field 6 and sowing those sunflowers up there, and Megan has almost completed field 24, and then she's going to move over into field 23. So we're getting on pretty well. It's still kind of fairly early in the morning, and hopefully we'll have a good but busy day. Well, everybody seems to be getting on pretty well with their tasks, and as you can see, we're probably about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through this field 16 and these carrots now, so that's pretty good. We're kind of drifting into mid-afternoon now, but everything seems to be going pretty well. And I think Tyler, he's probably close to getting finished with the land work over in field 6, and he'll be starting the headland work soon. So he seems to be getting on pretty well as well, and I think that Megan's almost finished in field 23, so it won't be too long before she moves over. I think she'll do field 46 next, which is next to the sheep farm, and then she'll move over to field sort of 44. And I'm keeping my eye on the contracts as well, because I think there may be a few others that come up. Might possibly be field 9 and 8, I think I saw, that are due, and they're just over the road from the farm here. So I suspect that Megan will be kind of fairly empty on the fertilizer tank soon as well, so she'll probably have to come back to the farm and fill up. Hopefully she'll be able to finish those fields before she needs to do that, and then if we've got time this evening, we might be able to go and do fields 8 and 9 as well, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And then what else have we got planned? Well, we want to get some chickens in. I think that's something that I'd like to do as well. So some of these carrots that we're harvesting at the moment will be needed for some of their feed. They'll need corn as well. We've got some of that growing in field 28. And then we'll need a little bit of wheat. Now, we're not sort of growing any wheat at the moment, but I'm sure we'll be able to pick some up from a contract sooner or later. I've talked about what I want to do about the top end of the grass field as well before. I've mentioned in a couple of videos that I'm quite keen to potentially get some vineyards because there's a big wine trade in Bucks County, and also the likes of cider as well. So we might even look at putting some apple trees in and that sort of thing, possibly. And also not forgetting that Pennsylvania is also known as the mushroom capital of the world, which I think I've mentioned before on a couple of occasions, and I've been having a hunt for a kind of a sort of mushroom greenhouse or facility or something, and I think I've found something that we might be able to put in there. So I've still got a plan to convert a top part of that grass field if we can, and then I'd also like to expand the farm and get some additional fields as well. Now, field 18 is probably one of the most obvious ones, just next to the grass field, so we'll probably have a look at seeing where we are financially after we've finished sort of harvesting our crops this time round, and see what we might be able to kind of purchase. So chickens, top of the grass field, sort of converting and putting some greenhouses in or something along those lines, buying some more fields and starting to expand things from there. Well, Tyler's nearly finished up at field 6. He's done all the land work now, and he's on the headlands. I think he's on the second time kind of round. He's just got one more to go after this. I did use courseplay on this as well. Now, one thing that you might not be aware of is when you've got a drill like this that does seed and fertiliser, you do have to have fertiliser in the tank. If not, it kind of flags up that the tanks are empty and need filling. But there is a setting in courseplay that enables you to turn the fertiliser function off, so you don't end up wasting money fertilising on a contract that's just for seeding. So next time round I will maybe show you where you can turn that off. Now, I do like this drill. I know it's one of the standard in-game ones, but I love the setup on the front of the tractor with the hopper and the drill on the rear. I just think it looks really great, so I enjoy using this drill, even though it's only 6 meters wide. I really do kind of like it. Now, Megan had been getting on all okay with the fertiliser spreading, so she's finished up in field 23, and she moved over to field 46 a little bit earlier. That was just down the road and kind of opposite, and is next door to the sheep farm. You can see there kind of in the background. Now, when I first started playing on Bucks County, it was actually the sheep farm that I purchased and started working on. I think that was partly because I was sort of put off a little bit by the kind of big buying price for the main farm, because I like to start sort of in farm manager mode most of the time. But I really enjoyed kind of working the sheep farm as well, but in the end I kind of decided to start this series in terms of how you could actually kind of buy that main farm when you don't really have the money to do that in the first place. So she finished up in field 46 and moved over into field 44. Now, this is the field that you get with the sheep farm, so that's almost kind of opposite the edge of field 25 as well. So she moved over into there, and it's just coming up to about 20 to 7 in the evening now. So hopefully she'll be finished up here fairly quickly, and might be able to get back to the yard, fill up with fertiliser, and maybe go off and do field 8 or 9, or maybe both of them. I'm not 100% sure. Well, Tyler's back in the yard now, as you can see, so he's going to give the planter and the tractor a wash down. Always good to keep your machinery clean. I always think that if you look after your machinery, then it'll look after you. And we've taken on those 2 fertilising contracts then in field 8 and 9, so we might be able to get one of those done this evening. Not sure if we'll get both of them done, but hopefully we can start on one of them. And as you can see, as the day has progressed in field 17, our crop of soybeans is ready to harvest as well, so that'll be a job for tomorrow. The cows are kind of all okay and sorted. They seem pretty happy, and we're starting to build up some milk. I think we've got about 6,000 litres of milk now that I need to go and sell soon, so that'll be one of the jobs for tomorrow as well. And you may be wondering where we kind of ended up with our carrot crop. Well, the best price that we can get at the moment is $315 at Quaker State Processing. And as you can see, we made just under 759,000 litres of crop off that field. So that should earn us about $239,000 in total. But our leasing cost, where is it? Was about $37,000. So we'll kind of net about $202,000. But that's not a bad day's work. I'm pretty pleased with that. Well, Megan's back in the yard now. As you can see, she's just filling up with fertiliser, so she's going to carry on doing that as late as she can while we've still got a bit of daylight. So we're going to have another busy day tomorrow by the looks of it, and I had a look at the map, and it looks like some of the other fields have also started to kind of turn or be ready for harvest, so I suspect there'll be a few harvest contracts that come up as well. And once we've harvested our field 17, we might be able to take advantage of those and do a few of those as well. Now, one of our biggest challenges is going to be all the carrots that we've got in the silo. We've got to take those to the selling point as well. 759,000 litres of carrots and a trailer that's no bigger than 45,000 litres. We're going to have our work cut out. That's going to be at least 17 trips, so might have to look to see if I can get a larger trailer or something like that, because that's going to be very time consuming for us. Well, Megan's heading off up the track to try and get on with the final bit of fertilising today, but I think that'll be it for today's video, so thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, then hitting that subscribe button would be very much appreciated. So thanks for watching, take care, whatever you're doing out there, and I will catch you on the farm next time. Bye for now.